Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you be sure to like and subscribe. Today what we're doing is we're taking out the bed frame, we're going to modify it, and we're going to put a back wall and some shelving and storage area to improve the back end of the trailer. We're also going to be taking out the back power strip. So this is what the wall looks like after we're done, and this is what the bed looks like with the wall up. So after removing the bed frame and all the underboards, we slid in a 4x8 sheet cut down to 43 inches by 69 3/4 and just basically tilted up from the back to the front so that it slid into place. We thankfully didn't have to do a whole lot of cutting. We just measured the back end to make sure that it was exactly where I wanted it to be. And then what we did was, which you can't see from this picture, but from the other side, we added the 2x6s that was part of the bed frame to the other side of the wall. And this is the wall is sitting behind the windows. Okay, so what we're getting ready to do is put the back boards in underneath, make sure they're lined up against the frame and everything is level and straight, and then what we're going to do is bolt them to each other, the backboard to the 2x6s on the other side, which creates the basic of the frame for the bed. This is what the front end looks like, what the bed is, with the 2x6s bolted underneath and bolted to the wall in the back. In the back corners, we're going to put a 1/4 inch sheet down below, and then the sides and back walls using a 1/2 inch. But first I had to remove the power strip in the back corner, which was mounted onto these 2 screws built into the sidewall, and I also cut out all of the cable that went through the floor down below, as you can see through this. After removing the old power strip, I reran some power cords for future connections, and then put the 1/4 inch plywood down below that, drilling a hole through the floor and mounting the 1/4 inch plywood on the floor like you see here. And then mounted the sidewall and the back wall using pocket hole joinery connections. So if you don't know what pocket hole joinery is, basically it's using a little jig that you see here, and you clamp it to your work, and then using a special jig that you can buy. This was purchased at Home Depot or on Amazon. And then what you do is just clamp it to your work, grab the drill with the special bit, and then you just drill your pocket holes. And then you set the pocket hole jig and the drill bit to the correct depth of the wood that you're cutting. In this case it was 1/2 inch plywood or a sand pine, and then all you do is put the jig where you want the holes to be. And in this case this was a one of the shelf boards I was doing, so I was going to mount or connect this board to 3 sides, the side, back, and big board in the trailer itself. And so if you've never really done pocket joinery, this is very easy to do. And what it allows you to do is you just use screws that go in sideways, basically, and it connects up and really locks down your woodwork very solid. I drove this all the way home and none of the material moved at all. It was rock solid. So check out on YouTube how to do pocket hole joinery, which is how I created my shelf for my cooler as well. After creating the shelf using pocket hole joinery, unfortunately my camera died before I could videotape how we mounted the shelf to the floor, to the side walls, to put the cooler in, the Alpicool 55 quart refrigerator freezer. So it works really great. We used side mounted full extension slides that you can pick up at Home Depot. And then what you're seeing me do here is just I'm putting in the middle shelf. As you can see, I've already put in the bottom shelf on the right hand side, and the top shelf is already installed. Now all of these were done using pocket hole joinery, making sure they were all level, and just basically put them in at the right height I needed them to be, and measured to make sure that my cups and all of that were going to fit in the location I want them to. All my dishes are going to go in on this side. Underneath the bottom shelf, you can't really see very well from this video, but I put in my what do you call it, the grill, and made it sure that the bottom shelf was high enough for that to slide in perfectly so that it won't slide around. Now unfortunately I did not finish all of the shelving over the weekend when I built this, but I've got the main parts in, which is the big wall, the side walls, the back walls, the flooring, the slide out shelf for the cooler. That was the biggest one I was worried about. Now my next video coming up for this will be putting in the dividers and finishing up my shelving and some other shelves and other things to keep things from falling out of the shelves is the next part I have to finish. But for the most part, this is where I got it to. So hopefully you'll check in for video number 2 once I'm done with all of that. I have to finish up my electrical wiring as well. I had to redo everything in the inside of the trailer, and hopefully it will make a lot of sense once I'm completely done. But hope you enjoy this. I'm just going to let the video fast forward and enjoy. Thank you for stopping by.